and welcome back into another scalping review. So today is Monday the 30th of October, and what you're looking at is the start of the week on gold. As you can see, these were my main trade ideas based on the high time frame, not simply scalping, and these were done right before the London Open. So I was looking for a bounce from this level, which as you can see was a relevant level from the previous week, or from a little bit lower from these last lows. Now you're looking at the hourly, but if we drop to the 15-minute, you can see that how the reaction was actually very good. If I actually placed a buy limit, unfortunately it was placed around here to possibly grab this bounce. But the price simply went here, like a little bit of drawdown of 15 pips, and would have gone around 100 pips, which means to the profit. Unlucky because I only placed my limit over here, but yeah, it's still a good thing. It still makes me feel good. Overall, as a scalping wise, we're not going to see huge volume, but it's still very interesting. So now let's open Epic Pen and let's have a look at the start of the New York session, which is over here. I missed the first hour because I was still in the previous time zone, because now we changed for this week. We changed the time in Europe compared to the USA hour. So I missed the first hour, and when I came back, I saw this price action. So we are bouncing from these lows, which were the same lows that I was looking for the bounce buys that I just showed you. Okay, now it should be good. Okay, from the bounce buys that I was showing you, and what we are looking simply on the 1 minute time frame is the creation of this high, then another reaction, no sell inside. And then what we see is actually this breakout from these last highs. So we see this breakout and we see a very nice and clean retest of these last top weeks, but mainly candle. We have multiple candles failing to break below, and that's where we could have our first entry. This is a 40 pip entry, but I mean, even with a 10 pip stop loss over here, this will be your entry. Even a 30 pip TP will still be a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Then we see, of course, a reaction because now we are tapping into the 2000, which is a very important level, psychological level. But again, what we do is we fail to break below. So now this is if you are entering also the end of pullback setup, not just the breaker retest. This could have been a very nice setup. And probably like a 75% retracement as well. Yes, exactly on the dot. 75% retracement of this overall bullish move before coming back up. Another trade entry that I saw, because after seeing this bounce and this rejection, after seeing this confirmation, was exactly this. Now what you're identifying is a double bottom at this level, and your good entry with the validation is after seeing this breakout candle. Let me just remove the lines. Okay, so is after seeing this breakout candle, you have the retest of the key level 1997, as well as the last lows and the actual, if you have this type of price action with a double bottom, you're very likely to going to see this retest of this last lower high before possibly continuing up. So that's where a very good entry would be for a high risk reward. You can see even just to go to the previous highs, that would be a 30 pip scalp, and then a possible continuation will be with the break and retest of these highs. This one will result in only like a 20 pip scalp, so possibly this in a live trade would have been a controlled loss, placing the stop loss from 10 pips, moving it up to like below the entry candle. But yeah, we were reaching 2002. So after that, we can see a reversal. This reversal is quite aggressive, but you can see not really clean, but the price action is absolutely interesting, because what we're looking at is, okay, you have this kind of price action, you have this very clear PSA, which was also confirmed by these highs, by these rejections before that. So let me just do this. This reaction, this reaction, this reaction, this last candle reaction right before this huge breakout candle. Then you have multiple candles trying to tap over there. Any entry in this area, not over here, but in this area. I mean, also over here would be still okay, but any entry over here will be the great entry for the break and retest with the continuation down. So this is sort of the taking advantage of the shift of the failure to break above, the shift in bias, and the simply scalping of this PSA down to at least 30 pips. As you can see, it will reach 30 pips, which is a very good 3-to-1 risk to reward. Continuation that is after the 10 AM candle is the same thing. So what we are seeing is it's not really a double bottom anymore now, but you see multiple rejection, multiple exhaustion, liquidity grab. This is a huge liquidity grab and can trap many traders. If this bullish candle didn't close over here, probably that would have been a sell trigger. Luckily it did not, so we can now validate this whole bearish move. Especially it's very interesting, these two candles, you can see how just sharp clean they are, going to grab liquidity right below the key level before pushing back up. This is a picture perfect liquidity grab with the continuation bullish. You have the first entry, which is over here for the bullish side, and as I was saying, we're talking about the same concept of the double bottom. Simply is not a double bottom. It's now like we can see it as an order block. So we have a bearish trend, then we have an order block being created. Now, most likely when the price is going up, it's not just simply going up, might be, especially if there's some catalyst for it, but most of the times it will retest these highs and then continuation up. This is just based on order flow, and yeah, you can see that you'll get another 30 pips pretty fast, or another retest of this last PSA, which will give you 30 pips more. Then you can identify this order block being created. You have these multiple rejections and this order PSA as well. And when you see this candle breaking below, you have the retest. Now you can see the difference, as I was talking about, the difference between this price action compared to this one. Here I was saying that it was not really clean because you didn't get these nice candle closures exactly at the level. But anyway, any entry over there would be adapted. But this is exactly the same PSA forming. Then you have the bearish price action. Some bearish price action before getting the entry over there. And you can also see, and it's also very fascinating, you can also see now one thing, and let me just hide the drawings. Okay, so this is the perfect repeat of the same price action. Okay, that's lovely. And you can see this thing. So look at just look at this candle structure and compare it to this one. This is simply how the price action works. Due to the fact that we are trading liquidity, you cannot avoid seeing that, okay, price is in this order block, price is in this order block. Before pushing down, so this is the main move, this is the main move, the price needs to grab liquidity, and you see the vacuum over here, and the price needs to grab liquidity before pushing down. You can see also how conveniently it goes exactly to retest these highs exactly on the dot. But that's what you see. It's very unlikely that you will see from these lows going directly up, or from these highs you see ta 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 and then straight down. It's very likely that you will see this price action with this liquidity wrap, and you can see how parallel they are, symmetrical they are. It's a really two candle liquidity. I like to call them and see them as a vacuum because they are like no buy orders. Here buy orders were fighting for the price. Now it's just like there are no buy orders, so it's like the sells, the ask is dropping, and then okay, now I have my orders set up, and that's where I buy a lot. The same thing here, you have no sellers anymore, just okay, a vacuum, because the sellers don't want this price, want the better price, and they know that when the price will break above over here, when the price breaks over here, there will be a lot of buy orders triggering, because there's a high chance, maybe there's a good chance that the price will continue up, or whatever, the stop loss of the sellers, whatever. But now they need these buy orders to fill their sell orders. That's where you see this huge spike down. So the same thing. Now let me just write it down. Buyers need sell orders to fill them. They stop buying at the bottom. They let the sellers push below the order block lows, because that's where lot of sell side liquidity is. So they are getting, okay, good. Sellers slash buyers stop losses get trapped. Buyers have their counterpart to push higher. Okay, and you can do it like this. Okay. Good. And now we can do the opposite, but in red, and just changing the word. Sellers need buy orders to fill them. They stop selling at the top. They let the buyers push above highs, because that's where a lot of buy side liquidity is. Buyers, breakout buyers, sellers, stop losses, get trapped, sellers, to push lower. Okay, there you go. So that's basically it, and very interesting, very interesting, and difficult to notice in real time if you're not experienced. And since I'm not experienced, for me it's very important to have these reviews to notice. But you can see that the entry doesn't have to be over here, it can be when it is validated, because we're just trying to grab a piece of the movement, not all the start of a big trend. Here, this is like a 70 pip move, because as you can see, it went back to these lows. So now we're moving on the 15-minute, even 5 minutes. You can see we moved all the way back down before bouncing, but yeah, you had your confirmation, you also had your confirmation below the key level, and very interesting to notice, 2 candles pump, 2 candles flash, and yeah, that's something that usually happens. And I just wanted to have a look at the market open of tonight. As you can see, this is basically the same thing, sort of vacuum, grabbing liquidity to this high, to this key level 1997 before pushing up, and that's the same concept. Okay guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. These were like quite a few scalps ideas, and I'll see you next time.